Ah, the Tiki Bar, that slice of Americana. We'll take a Tiki Tour of the South Bay today on PCZ TV.
PCZ TV.
But first, some Tiki history. Just what the heck is this Tiki thing? Well, essentially, it's the marketing creation of Ernst Gant, aka Don the Beachcomber. Back during the Great Depression, Ernst, let's just call him Don, created the concept of a tiki bar in Hollywood. He created all sorts of strange, secret concoctions in a pseudo-Polynesian setting with Americanized Chinese food, and it was a hit. And the name Tiki? Well, Tiki is the name of the first man in the Maori mythology, as well as the word many Pacific Islanders use for the carved figurines that resemble human faces. So the use of Tiki Bar was sort of a homogenization of Polynesian culture to create Tiki-themed establishments, leveraging all the imagery mixed together without any care about specific cultures. But it included fancy drinking mugs. The wilder, the better. And to fill the mugs, also wild concoctions with wild and crazy names, like the Zombie, Navy Grog, 3 dots and a dash, and perhaps the most popular Tiki-themed drink of them all, the Mai Tai. Now it was Vic Bergeron, whatever, founder of Don the Beachcomber's biggest rival, Trader Vic's, who created the Mai Tai in 1944. And to be honest, he sort of looks like the classic Bond villain.
Good evening, Mr. Bond. I've been expecting you.
And on an aside, Trader Vic's was celebrated in song for the Pina Colada, which was a Puerto Rican cocktail. But you can definitely find them on the menu at Trader Vic's, and after all, Polynesian, Puerto Rican, whatever. Oh, the details. Anyway, the Tiki boom really began in earnest post-World War II. All of those soldiers, sailors, and Marines coming back from overseas duty brought back a nostalgia for Polynesia. And they weren't too concerned if it was just a hodgepodge of Polynesian culture from multiple locations or the real thing. I mean, close enough is good enough back then, right? Don the Beachcomber and Trader Vic's capitalized on it and expanded their respective empires. This was quiche over quality, but the boom was on, and this Polynesian fascination continued into the mainstream with movies, and even with Disney. The Enchanted Tiki Room at Disneyland opened in 1963, and that copyrighted song will now play in your head, and not on the video because Disney are jealous of their songs. But vaguely ethnocentric stereotypes sort of slowly fell out of flavor as more folks traveled to Hawaii, starting with the clipper ships in the 40s, the propeller aircrafts in the 50s, and then the onslaught really began with the jet age in 1959 with the first jet air service to Hawaii. So tourists started to appreciate authentic culture that they saw, well, not right away, I guess, but over time, as it took a wee bit longer. However, like all fashion, the Tiki appreciation moves in waves. By contrast, we started to have authenticity as more Hawaiians moved to the mainland, and more on this later. So it's ironic that in the last few years, there's been a resurgence of the retro Tiki culture. All patronized by hipsters, no doubt, looking to capitalize on nostalgia. And this has especially been true in San Francisco with Trader Sam, the Tongaroo, Smuggler's Cove, etc., etc. In fact, San Francisco has the highest per capita population of tiki bars because, well, I don't know. Well, don't ask me why. If you do, well, let me know below. So anyway, now we get to the South Bay and our Tiki Tour, which will have 4 stops. Oh, a quick word from our sponsor. These tiki drinks are strong.
It's rather pleasant.
Do not drink and drive. Have a designated driver or an Uber, Lyft, Waymo, whatever, to take care of you. Folks, DUIs are serious business. Be safe and keep others safe. Having said that, let's hop in the Wayback Machine to the South Bay of the 1960s. So what was happening in the 1960s? Well,
Yeah, baby, yeah!
fashion designs were different then. Interior design was different then. Even architecture designs were different then, with classic mid-century dingbat styles in houses and banks and even in themed apartment buildings. So it's no surprise that there is a tiki-themed apartment building built in 1959 in the area. How famous is this apartment building? It's included in the Smuggler's Cove Tiki Drink Recipe Book. And honestly, in a world of faceless apartment slabs, I love the fact that they've kept that theme over the years. And you can see it here on our first Tiki Tour stop at 389 Palos Verdes Boulevard. And next, we progress to the 1970s in the Hale Hawaiian Lounge, located at 3144 PCH, which Grok tells me has been open since 1974. This is a hidden gem, and by gem, I mean dive bar, local bar, because it's hidden in the corner of a strip mall. And I'm reminded of the Charles Dickens quote about, quote, a location so unsuitable, it seemed as though the young house had run there playing hide and seek and forgot how to leave. Inside, it's just as fascinating. What are their hours? Don't really know. It's an OG tiki dive bar. I mean, this is a locals place, but they are super friendly. It is so cool as it's true and authentic. Now, don't expect to chat up the bartender because he doesn't know or care who you are unless you've been there repeatedly. And I love that. By the way, there's no food available and it's cash only. Now, ironically, roughly around the same time that Hale Hawaiian was opened, in 1977, King's Hawaiian started their bakery in Southern California, and then they opened their restaurant in 1988. Now, this is real Hawaiian food owned by real Hawaiians. And for more on the history of King's Hawaiian, see this video. But for now, our Tiki Tour takes us to the new kids in town at 20930 Hawthorne Boulevard, the Hula Hula Room. Now, there's no food menu here either, just a drink menu. But it is located next to some of the great Japanese restaurants in the South Bay, if you're so inclined. Hula Hula Room is actually a fairly narrow space, super dark, and fills up quickly on weekends and holidays. The interesting part is that the owners hired designers to develop the space, Stellan Designed worked with the owners to take this small space and make it as retro tiki as possible. I mean, nothing here is accidental. It was all curated for that tiki buzz. Next up on the Tiki Tour, we go to the Hermosa Pier and Tiki Kai. Now finally we have our tiki restaurant, ironically owned by the same folks who brought you the Hula Hula room. Now if the Hula Hula room was a hipster hole in the wall, this is the, for want of a better term, nouveau riche tiki hipster in prime real estate and the pier. The menu is a fusion of traditional tiki, which if you recall was like Chinese American, and more modern Asian dishes. Now, expect a line, but this is the Hula Hula room on steroids. Its traditional hula imagery abounds. Okay, so what have we learned about tiki in the South Bay? We've learned 3 things. 1, Hale should be the holy cow. I mean, what an experience. I mean, good luck finding it open. It's a dive bar circa of 1970s, but it's so cool. It's a neighborhood dive bar in the best sense. The folks are friendly, the pours on the drinks are great, they're done well, it's not pretentious. I really enjoyed it. Hula Hula, ironically, the drinks weren't mixed as well on our visit, perhaps because we had a trainee bartender, but honestly, it was okay. Tiki Kai, well, crowded doesn't do it justice to explain it. I mean, the food itself is meh, but the staff and the patrons are clearly having a great time, and the drinks, yeah, sure, they're stupid expensive, but they're made so well and they're presented so well, you really have to get into the vibe, man. And now, that's it, the tour is over. Is there a spot that speaks to your tiki? And honestly, does this really differ from, say, the Jimmy Buffett sort of Caribbean theme or the Kenny Chesney Caribbean theme, both of whom leveraged a sort of island theme? Well, I don't know. But now it's time to look up hangover cures. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And no matter if you're in the Caribbean or the Pacific, my disclaimers remain the same. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Bye.